Hello everyone. In this video, we will learn how to input data into SPSS from an Excel file. This video is especially useful for students and beginner researchers who have collected questionnaire data and want to analyze it using SPSS. We will begin from the very basics. First, we will understand how data should be arranged in Excel. Then we will learn how to import the Excel file into SPSS. After that, we will check the data in SPSS, define variables, add value labels, set measurement levels, and finally verify the data using frequency analysis. By the end of this video, you should be able to take questionnaire data from Excel and prepare it properly in SPSS for statistical analysis. Before opening SPSS, it is very important to understand how research data should be organized. In a questionnaire-based study, each respondent gives answers to several questions. For example, one respondent may answer questions about education, emirate, nationality, work experience, etc. In Excel, this information must be arranged in a proper format. The basic rule is each row represents one respondent. Each column represents one variable. For example, if we have 100 respondents, we should have 100 rows of data. If we ask 20 questions, we should have 20 columns. Let us look at an example dataset. The Excel file contains variables such as education 1, education, emirate 1, emirate residence status, nationality 1, nationality, work experience, work exp. Some variables contain text responses. For example, education 1 may contain values such as secondary, graduate, or masters and above. Other variables contain numerical codes. For example, the variable education may contain numbers such as 2, 3, or 4. This means that the text variable shows the original answer, while the numerical variable shows the coded version of the answer. SPSS can analyze coded numerical data more easily, especially when we want to produce frequency tables, descriptive statistics, cross-tabulations, or regression analysis. Before importing the file into SPSS, we must clean and prepare the Excel file. The first row of the Excel sheet should contain variable names. For example, education, emirate, residence status, nationality, work experience. Variable names should be short and clear. Avoid using spaces in variable names. For example, instead of writing work experience, write worker. Avoid special symbols such as brackets, slashes, commas, or question marks. Also, avoid very long variable names. SPSS works better when variable names are short and systematic. Before importing the data, check that the Excel sheet does not contain unnecessary blank rows or blank columns. Make sure that each respondent appears in one row only. Make sure that the first row contains only variable names, not actual data. Check that numerical codes are entered consistently. For example, if residence status is coded as 1 equal to Emirati, 2 equal to expatriate, then all Emirati respondents should be coded as 1, and all expatriate respondents should be coded as 2. Do not mix numbers and text in the same coded variable. For example, in the variable nationality, do not enter both 1 and Emirati in the same column. Use either the text variable separately or the coded variable separately. For SPSS analysis, coded variables are usually preferred. After preparing the data, save the Excel file. Give the file a clear name such as demographicodata.xlsx. Save the file in a location that is easy to find, such as the desktop or documents folder. Before importing the file into SPSS, close the Excel file. This helps avoid file access problems when SPSS tries to open the same file. Now open SPSS. When SPSS opens, you will usually see the data editor window. SPSS has two important views, data view and variable view. Data view is where the actual data appears. Variable view is where we define the properties of each variable, such as name, label, value labels, and measurement level. To import the Excel file into SPSS, go to the top menu and click File. Then click Open, then select Data. A new window will appear. By default, SPSS may show only SPSS files. Therefore, we need to change the file type. At the bottom of the window, look for the File Type option. Select Excel Files. This allows SPSS to show Excel files with extensions such as XLS or .xlsx. Now select your Excel file and click Open. After selecting the Excel file, SPSS will show an import window. In this window, SPSS asks how the Excel file should be read. Make sure the option Read Variable Names from the first row of data is selected. This is important because the first row of our Excel sheet contains variable names such as education, emirate, nationality, work experience, and stage. If this option is not selected, SPSS may treat the first row as actual respondent data, which will create errors. Next, select the correct worksheet. For example, if your data is in Sheet 1, select Sheet 1. Then click OK. Now the Excel data has been imported into SPSS. In Data View, each row represents one respondent. Each column represents one variable. For example, row 1 represents respondent number 1. Row 2 represents respondent number 2, and so on. The columns may include education, emirate, nationality, work experience, motivation, stage, employees, finance, and business sector. At this stage, we should check whether the data appears correctly. Make sure the number of rows in SPSS matches the number of respondents in the Excel file. Also check whether the variable names have been imported properly. In this video, we learned how to prepare an Excel file and import it into SPSS. We discussed how each row should represent one respondent and each column should represent one variable. We also learned how to select the Excel file in SPSS, choose the correct worksheet, and read variable names from the first row. At this stage, the data has been imported successfully into SPSS. In the next video, we will continue from here. We will go to Variable View and learn how to define each variable, add variable labels, enter value labels, set nominal, ordinal, and scale measurement levels, and prepare the data set for analysis.